my live just cut out just now. I was at an hour long of recording, but um, it just like kind of just shut off for no reason. I got a pretty shitty signal out here, so that probably has something to do with it. Because when I was recording earlier, I kept seeing a message that said that the live got interrupted or something like that. The bars out here, they're pretty shitty. So I think that has a lot to do with it. I just started up my bike a second ago because I hadn't started it in like a couple days, so I wanted to make sure that it was good. But basically, like, I'm scattering. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be here. I put the wheel back on. I got the axle back on, but I just did not put that side. I didn't put that side spacer back in because I was not able to figure out how to do it with. I was not able to get the wheel back with both spacers on each side. I tried to. I spent like two, but you need like more than one person to do it. It seems like super simple, but it's really not. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's not even. It's not that it's hard. It's not hard. I know what to do. I had a hard time aligning everything with the small amount of my voice just cracked now. With the small amount of clearance on each side. It's a certain way you have to do it, but you need multiple, like you need two hands to do it. I didn't have to, so it's not that I don't know. I know how to do it. I don't know how to do it alone, basically, and I saw a guy do it online, but even he had two people. He had one person to basically help him to align everything and hold the wheel and align the rotor and the rotor slot and to align it with the caliper, and then the hole that the shaft goes through the actual bushing on the swing arm. And then it's just the part that made it hard is aligning everything with the small amount of clearance that you have to basically fit everything together. But it's not hard. It's hard, but it's not hard. I know it's kind of contradicting, but that's just the truth. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I hate when I cannot take something apart and I can't put it back together, because I pride myself on figuring out how to do stuff, for the first time, and when I can't, fix something or figure out how to do it or get it finished. Like, I take that as like a defeat. I don't like not being able to figure stuff out. Like, I sat and I swear to God, y'all, I tried to get this wheel back on for like 2 days straight, but I wasn't able to do it. So I feel like pretty defeated about it, because I will work on something until I cannot work. But it came to a point where I'm like, you know what? And it was a couple of different reasons why I decided to go back to the shop. The rear brake pad, for whatever reason, so you got two sides of a brake pad that sit inside of the actual brake rotor. For whatever reason, the inner brake of the caliper was not staying in the slot. So while I was trying to align everything, it kept falling down, and I think that's why it just needs new brakes, rear brakes. So I think the shim that the brake sits on, like, it worn down, and so like it wasn't allowing it to actually stay in the slot. So while I'm trying to actually, put this whole assembly back together, it kept falling down, and when it fell down, the one inner brake was basically like, once it fell down, if I got it back on, like if I managed to figure out how to get the whole thing back together, if that inner brake pad fell down, I would have to take the whole thing apart again and push it back up into the slot. And that was, it was just a number of different things. But, at a certain point, you got to say, okay, let's go ahead and take it into the shop. But I will say this, though. I am proud of the fact that I did learn how to wire up a light for the first time. I learned how to wire up a switch. Basically, you have to take a wire and splice it. You have your positive, your negative, and then you have the switch where it has three prongs. One is for your positive, your negative. The other one's for it goes to the battery. And I learned how to wire up my light that goes from the battery to the switch to the actual light. So I will say that I did learn how to do that, because what happened was, I guess when the guy sold me the bike, he added a switch onto it, and I think the switch, like the wiring, came undone, and it happened like at the most, inconvenient time. Basically, I was riding at night one day, and the light like literally stopped working. I'm like, holy shit! So I was riding home one day, like it was like a short nap. Then it completely just stopped working because it came undone. So there was literally like one night, I shit you not, where I was riding home from work on my Grom, and I had no headlight. So it was very, very dangerous. So this is gonna sound ghetto as fuck, y'all, but I literally like used my cell phone light to be able to see, and so that people could see me, for one night on the way home, because it happened while I was actually riding home. And I had to literally use like one hand to actually, drive, and the other hand to actually hold my cell phone flashlight in the air so that somebody could see me on a dark road. Like if I didn't have that on, I would have probably got hit or something, because, well, I will say this, my back tail light was working, but my front light was out, and I could not see where I was driving. So I had no choice but to literally use my cell phone to be able to see and to be seen. Yeah, that shit was crazy, but that happened like 2 weeks ago, basically. So yeah, I mean, it's just been like a lot of shit happening. Luckily, like I said, the next day, I got home, I did some research, I bought some more wire, and then I got a wire. What else I got? I got a wire. I got some more electrical tape, and then I got some thermal type insulation to basically protect the wires from the engine. I'll show you where I did it at. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all, because I'm actually gonna basically go back and redo it, because where I did it at, the wire is actually, it's hanging. I want to probably get a zip tie, and y'all can tell how random I am. I'm just looking around. This is why I don't know, man. I'm scared. I'm scatterbrained. I'm very scatterbrained. But I actually want to go back and improve it, because I want to actually, I don't like how this wire is, but it's actually better than how he had it, because the way he had it was literally like just bare wire. Now keep in mind, y'all, this is a used bike. I paid not that much for it. So what he did was he took the original headlight assembly off of the motorcycle, and I think he even took the original cluster off the motorcycle, and that was the whole thing with him converting it to a stunt bike. So when he did that, when he removed the original headlight, he added this aftermarket one on here. So I'll show you right here. So I'll show you what I actually did. So this is the switch on here that he already had. But what happened was, that was just like a thin wire, and it was completely exposed. So what I had to do was completely like redo this wire, run a whole brand new wire from the headlight to the switch to the battery. I had to basically make new connections for the battery, splice it. I mean, it wasn't super complicated, but I had never done it before. So, you know, I can actually move it now too. I can adjust it. But I had completely this took it apart and rewired it. And yeah, so that's something new that I learned how to do. So I now know how to wire a light to basically splice the wire on a light, run it to a switch, to the actual terminals on the actual switch, and then run the wires from that switch to the actual battery. And, you know, yeah, this is why, you know, I really do love YouTube a lot because, you know, you can literally, sometimes you have to actually look for good videos to learn things. But when you, oh crap. But when you actually find videos on how to do stuff, it's such a great thing. This is why, even though like I feel like a lot of things on YouTube are kind of like redundant and stuff like that, like YouTube really can be a beautiful thing because you can learn so much from other people. And I love when other people share their knowledge and you learn how to do things because it's a beautiful thing. Like I appreciate people who actually get on YouTube and share just simple to complicated things like that. Like, you know, how to wire up a light switch. Like I never done that before, but like now I know how to do it now, you know? And I think that's like one of the coolest things about YouTube is people out there sharing their knowledge on how to do stuff. And that's, you know, that's one of the reasons why I still to this day like YouTube. Now, YouTube has kind of given me a bad taste in other aspects as far as like if you're using it for like advice on how to like live your life and stuff like that, you know, you'll be let down. But there's still a lot of things about YouTube that I think are just awesome. You know, I try not to let a lot of the negative things on there take away from the good because, like I said, stuff like that. And like I said, that was a real situation where like it really literally helped me out because, again, you know, I was driving home without a light and, you know, people may say like this bike is small, and it is small, and it's by no means is a sport bike. It'll do about 60 miles an hour, believe it or not. It'll do about 60 miles an hour. And it has like what 4 or 5 gears. And yeah. So I mean it's a small bike. It's not really made for speed, but it's kind of like made to kind of cruise around. And most of the things that guys use it for are learning how to do stunts and learning how to do wheelies and tricks and stuff like that. I get like a lot of compliments on it since I've had it. Like, oh man, I love your bike, man. I'm like, bro, I just got this shit, bro. But thank you though. I appreciate it, you know. So yeah, man, like this is basically like the whole like lifestyle that I'm trying to live now. Again, it's going to sound crazy to people and it's not going to make sense until it does, until things kind of come together and I kind of figure things out, how to do things. And honestly, I have not figured it out, but it's just something that I'm just intuitively feeling as I go. I know that as long as I keep moving in a direction of, I guess, like my passion and the intention of what I'm trying to do and investing in myself, that eventually I'll figure it out. You know, I have like instinctively, I know how to do it, but specific details of, you know, how exactly I'm going to bring this together with like the brand. But I know that it has a lot to do with the brand, you know, with marketing and me learning this new skill and this new hobby, but just translating that into like an exact specific plan. I have not figured the specifics of how it's all going to come together. And I'm not, you know what, I don't even think that I'm supposed to. I just think that it's going to happen the way that it's supposed to, as long as I make the right, choices as far as like investing in, you know, one thing that I watch Bashar say is, how do he say it? Investing in something like your highest excitement or something like that. Basically, things that make you very excited and fulfilled and happy and stuff like that. Like I'm investing in that more so now, and that for my theory is that will translate to me manifesting my business or having the mental energy and the creative energy to make whatever adjustments or moves I need to make to get my business profitable. I don't know. I intuitively feel like that's not. I mean, I intuitively feel like that's how it works. I truly believe that this whole idea of grinding and struggling your way to success is not really the way. Like, yes, it definitely takes work. Yes, it definitely takes intention. Yes, it definitely takes a level of discipline and consistency. But I just don't think that it's like in the way that most people, including myself, have been going about it. I think that you're supposed to kind of approach this whole manifestation thing from basically from a place of joy and intention and just like living in the and creating reality in the moment from a space of excitement. Like if I'm not excited about how I'm living my life, then what the fuck am I doing? Now, I'm not saying that, every moment is going to be perfect and, you're not going to never have any times that are kind of boring and dull. But what I'm saying is, in a general sense, like if I'm not living my life in a way that brings me excitement, then how am I going to have the mental, emotional, spiritual energy to create anything that I actually want to create? If I'm not actually doing things and living my life in a way that actually makes me want to keep living, that actually makes life feel enjoyable, fun to me, that makes life worth living. If I'm not living my life in a way that makes life worth living, then I'm not going to want to actually do anything. If I'm not doing fun things, if I'm not investing in fun hobbies and stuff like that, like, what is the point? And it's just, I had this moment where I'm just like, it just makes sense now. Like, even if I have to like put a lot of money into like because this stuff ain't cheap, put my motorcycle in the shop, getting it worked on, making sure the body is in good condition. I want to probably have to put my mini bike back in the shop again and, spend more money. It's definitely not cheap, but it's investing in a vision. It's investing in fun, enjoyment, hobby. Like it's investing in my desire to learn how to do cool shit like wheelies and stunt riding motorcycles. Like that's a lifestyle. That is a way of living that I want to live. It's doing fun, cool, awesome things like that. Like riding motorcycles is just cool. I don't care who you are. Like riding motorcycles is cool. Like when you see guys like on the road, like doing wheelies, like when I was a little kid, man, when I used to see like guys on motorcycles, I used to be like, oh my God, man, it's so cool. And like now when I go riding now, I get like so many like I get those same looks basically from little kids, from grown people. Like I was riding one day about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I was literally pulling out of the gas station, and some guy's like, man, I love your bike, man. I'm like, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. He's like, can I take a picture? I was like, yeah, bro, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that makes you feel good. Like You feel cool. Like, I don't care who you are. If you ride a motorcycle, like you feel cool. Like you do. It's just what it is. So, then when I'm riding down the road, kids be waving at me and, stuff like that, it's like moments like that's one of the ways that can make life more enjoyable or fun or fulfilling. Now, yeah, there's other ways that obviously are not so materialistic, but to me, motorcycles, they are in a way materialistic, but it's also about, for me at least, a feeling of freedom, of pure adrenaline and pure excitement. And granted, I'm not like a lot of these other guys where, I'm personally don't drive recklessly on the roads, but at the same time too, yeah, I'll cut up a little bit, but I'm not reckless to the point to where I'm going to put myself or another person, at danger. I had my fun here and there, I'm not going to lie, but there's some guys out here where they're running like, wide open, 120, 100, 115 and up on like, public streets. And it's like, dude, like it only takes like 1 inch. Like when you're at certain speeds, if you, man, it don't take much for you to go down on a motorcycle. It could be a small pebble. It could be loose gravel on the street that a truck on the road kind of just that came off the back of it. It can be an oil slick. It could be a puddle of water, a deer, a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't play around like that. Like I said, I have my fun, and yeah, I'm learning how to do wheelies and stuff like that. But even with that, I feel like it's a certain level of common sense that that any motorcycle rider should have. Like, yeah, it's great to be cool. It's great to be a badass. It's awesome to look cool, and I get that because I ride. But at the same time, I don't believe in risking other people's lives to look cool. Some of the things that I see these guys out here do, I'm sorry, but I'm just like, yeah, I can't do that. No. Like, you're going to get somebody killed. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to get somebody killed. Some of these guys are just completely reckless. I mean, completely reckless. And this is one part about motorcycles that, I don't agree with this whole just, being a badass at any cost. I'm like, no. Like, people say, like, if you ride like thunder or you ride like lightning, you're going to crash like thunder. And again, some guys out there that have some really good riding skills. I see videos, Me personally, in the future, I plan on getting into like track racing and drag racing. My hopes are to get a second and third and use one as like a stunt bike, one is like a track bike, and then one is like my main riding bike. Because, I've been researching on certain tracks in the area, and I plan on at some point when I'm able to, when I have the time and discipline to invest and dedicate to it, I plan on going to a racing school and learning how to race, because I've always loved anything like high speed racing. Like, I've always thought that was so cool and badass and awesome. And I've always wanted to learn how to race and get the bike down low on curves. So that's at some point in the future, like, that's something that I definitely also plan on getting into. I mean, I don't know about professional racing, but if I can, I would like to do that too. but definitely just getting the skill and getting on the track, and then, seeing where that goes. Because I honestly like to make a career out of it. That takes a lot of time, but hey, anything is possible. So anyway, but I definitely plan on having like a track bike and having like a drag bike, stunt bike, and then just my regular like, riding bike. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a lot of things that I'm trying to manifest, but honestly, I have no idea how I'm going to do it. I have a general plan, and it all kind of revolves around my business, and the way my brain works is always kind of creating new pathways to my destination in very subtle ways. I don't always know what to do, but when I do, I just act on it, if that makes sense. There's just like certain things that I just know they're going to lead to that eventual outcome. I can't prove it. I can't like be like, oh, I just know, it's just something inside that I know if I keep going forward with this energy, with this intention in this way, it basically like investing more in my passion and my excitement. Like that's what's called living from your soul. That's what living from your soul is. Yeah, it still takes work. Yeah, it still takes dedication. Yes, it still takes discipline. Yes, it still takes consistency. But you're doing it more from like a place of excitement and passion and new energy, instead of just, oh, I gotta just work hard, I gotta just grind to get to this place. It's like, yeah, but you also have to enjoy life in the moment, in the process as well. You have to enjoy life right now. It's easier to get, in my opinion, it's easier to get to whatever you're trying to accomplish if you really are enjoying life right now. Even if you're having challenges, even if, you're having to figure it out as you go, it's so much easier mentally, energetically, spiritually to manifest things when you're actually enjoying your life right now as well. And that's one thing that I'm learning. It's like, the stuff that I'm learning about and I'm doing, it's fun. It's fun, but it's also got to do with my business as well. But it's fun, it's cool, it's badass. You know what I'm saying? Like and I feel like that, again, that energy is the kind of energy that you need to propel you through the obstacles that you're going to encounter. You're building something, or